I just had to look up what episode this was. Well planned. It looks really dark in here. I don't know. Hi everybody, it's Kelly from Loch Briar Knits. Welcome to episode 52 of the Loch Briar Knits podcast, coming to you from a cloudy Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome to all the returning subscribers and viewers. Thanks so much for coming back. And to the new subscribers and viewers, I hope you like what you see and you'll come back and check us out again. And did I say it was episode 52? I actually had to look that up because I couldn't remember. So let's just jump right in. Where can you find me? I'm bringing my tea over and trying not to spill it because it's really hot. I've started singing already. God help us all. Although hot. Okay, so where can you find me? I'm going to put it all down below in the drop down bar, but I'm most active on Instagram as Kelly L. Boyce. And there's a Ravelry group. I almost said a Loch Briar group again. There's a Ravelry group called Loch Briar Knits for the podcast. And there's an Etsy shop, Loch Briar Knits on Etsy. And I think that's kind of the main ones. But I'm going to put everything down there with links. I'm also going to put any show note links down below. I was putting them in the Ravelry group. It just seems to make more sense to put them down where you can grab them real quick if something pops onto the screen or what I say, blah, 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 that you want to check out. So that's what we're doing. And I'm really discombobulated. It is March 29th, Friday. I have the day off because I had to work straight through last weekend, which was just like, whoa. We were doing a project at work and there was a meeting on it at 8 o'clock Monday morning. 8 o'clock our time. It was actually taking place 7 o'clock in Toronto. Whatever. Neither here nor there. So I had to work late Friday night and then I think I finished up Friday night around 9 or 10. Started at like 7 o'clock on Saturday, worked right through until about 10 or 11 p.m. Started again at about 7 o'clock on Sunday. And then by 9 o'clock on Sunday, I was just brain fried. One document was left to come in. And I just couldn't wait up for it. I was just like, I gotta go to bed. So that thing came in like about 15 minutes before the meeting. So glad I didn't wake up for it. And then I was at the coffee shop when it came in, so I literally had to pack my bag and like sprint down to the office, which is only thankfully a few minutes away, and then get it uploaded for the meeting. Woo! So needless to say, I was kind of brain fried all week, and I decided to take Friday off. And here I am. Yay! I slept in this morning. I had a good sleep, which was great. And I feel like I'm very far away from where I usually am. I'm going to adjust. Hang on. Boo! Now I'm all face. It feels there. I think that's better. I don't know if it made a difference or not. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so this is a knitting podcast. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are really light on the knitting content because I was trying so hard to finish something before this podcast that I pretty much spent all of my time working on that this week to the point where I was just like so done with it, but I wasn't done. And I'm still not done. I'm like this close to being done. Okay, probably more like this close to being done. So why don't we just jump right into it? So this is in my chestnut fiber bag. There we go, chestnut fibers. So it's got this really great, I'm kind of at a different angle than I usually am, I think so. But it's got this like really great pattern. I love it. So This is my Bird of a Feather Shawl by Andrea Mowry. Ta-da! This is like the shawl that would not end. It just, and I'm so done with it. And here's the thing is that I love how it looks. I cannot wait to wear it. I'm probably not going to be able to wear it this season because it's the end of March now, and this is mohair and wool, so I'm kind of putting all this work in for delayed gratification, I guess. But, oh my God, I'm so tangled. There's lots of, I was going to say there's lots of weaves to end in. Okay, I'm going to try not to get this falling off the needles. So, I have it going there. Yeah, this is the right side. So, last time we were here, I was, oops. Ooh. Let me stand up a little. So last time we were here, I was, ooh, so I did get a lot done. I was, geez, can you see? Hang on. I was here. I was about starting this section here. And so I got all of this done. But I still have this section to finish. Then I have to do one more of this section. And then I have to do the, what's it called? Oh my God. What's it called? The border. Okay, I really can't believe I forgot that word. So anyway, I still have, I'm maybe almost halfway through this. I have to do another one of these in the mohair, which I'm not enjoying knitting with mohair, and I don't think I'm going to be doing it again anytime soon because I just find it tedious because it's just so thin. So anyway, yeah, so I've got to finish this, do one more of this, and then the border, which I'm not even sure what the border is going to look like, but hopefully, but it's going to be in this yarn, so at least it will go a little quicker. But honestly, like, it's big. It's really like quite long. So I do love how it looks though. Like, I love the colors. I love the color of the mohair and the yarns I'm using. So I'm on my second skein of this, which is Herriott Fine from Juniper Moon Farm. I love their stuff. I've got a bunch of it. So it's 75% alpaca, 25% polyamide, and the the color is travertine, which I didn't think there was. Oops. Mohair's trying to run away. I didn't think there actually was a color name because I think I was just calling it Dove Gray, but which is pretty much what it is. But the name, the colorway name, is actually travertine, and this stuff is so crazy soft. So that's the gray color, and then the mohair is, this is what I have left of the mohair, so I'll definitely have enough left to finish. So this is like, I love the color. It's kind of a smoky dark gray and black with like some white in it. And this is from Crooked Kitchen Yarn. And this is her Kid Mohair Mulberry Silk base. There's 465 yards per 50 gram. And it's a 2-ply. So the colorway is Selkie. So, and I got this online. I believe it was it was Etsy that I got it. Yeah, Crooked Kitchen Yarn, Etsy.com. So there's her info. And I'll put the shop name down below as well. But I love it. The yarn is beautiful. I just don't enjoy knitting with, like, it feels like I'm knitting with thread. And it's just, it slows me down. And when you're trying to finish this thing, because it's been on the needles forever, and you just want to move on, it's annoying. But I really recommend the mohair if you like knitting with mohair. Her base is fantastic. So yeah, this is pretty much had, I would say, 98% of my attention since the last podcast. So it's coming along. There's the spine. I did make a few mistakes on the spine. Just, I think one time I accidentally I got my directions mixed up. So I did the slip knit yarn over on one side, should have been on the other side, and then I did the purl on the other side. Is any of that making sense? Because it didn't in my head. Basically, I should have like done the slip knit, and, you know, like yarn over here on this side, but I did it on that side, and then when I was coming the other way, I should have purled here. I should have been purling on this side, and then I end up purling on the other side. So it was you can't even tell. If I kept doing that, I mean, on regularly, it would probably show up, but it didn't. So anyway, so that is gonna be done, because I'm gonna finish that I'm gonna finish this weekend. And I'd actually like to finish it today, but I think that's probably not going to happen, because I found my hand was cramps a lot when I used the mohair, and I think it's just that I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's just because it's so thin, I'm just gripping it more, or gripping the needle more, which is kind of stupid because it's this hand that cramps, so this one isn't the one really doing all the work. I don't know. Maybe it's like stress cramping or something, because it's, you know, I really have to pay attention when I'm doing the mohair, or I'll just mess it up completely. So, but that is going to be done by the next time, because I need to move on to something else. And something else is probably going to be, not probably, it is going to be my own design. So I don't know if I'm going to knit another shawl. I do have that listed as part of my Make 9, and there's a Tammy Gore shawl that I really want to knit, and there's also another one which was pictured on my Make 9, which I'd like to make, and I'm totally blanking on the name. Anyway, so yeah, so I don't know, because I find right now my head is really in sweater mode. I'm in sweater mode. I have become a sweater knitter. Speaking of knits, what I'm wearing today, because it's kind of cold down here, this is my Old Vine shawl. Let's see if I can. This is like a one skein knit, and it was from Knox Mountain Knit Co. Oops, and I can't remember. I think this was a that's kind of open there. I think this is a Fiber for the People colorway. I think it might be, I want to say beach grass. That might be, I can't remember, but it would be on my project page in Ravelry if anybody's interested. And this was a really great one skein project. And the thing I like about it is that once you kind of hit the shoulder season, if you want your neck to stay warm, but it's just a little too much to wear a bulkier shawl or scarf, This is great because it's nice and lightweight, but it still keeps you warm without like overheating you, and it fits under your jackets a little better and stuff. So if you're tired of wearing super bulky stuff, it's a good alternative. And it was a fun knit, and it was really easy. Like it was a good knit. I'd make another one. And I think I went down a needle size, possibly 2. And I can't remember my reasoning for that, or if I actually had a reasoning. Maybe that was the only needle I had on hand at the time. Anyway, so I think if you do knit it, it would like knit it with the needle size. I am totally stumbling over my words today. Oh my God. But I think if you knit it in the suggested needle size, it probably would come out obviously a little larger and with a bit of a like looser gauge to it. But I really like this. It's a perfect size. I would go up a needle size the next time I do it, just so that the ends are a little longer here. Like they still see. Okay, hang on. So I can still tie them is what I was trying to say. But yeah, I would probably just go just a little longer. Yeah, so that is pretty much, I don't think I got anything done on my Rachel sweater. Or maybe I did. I'm trying to remember where I was the last time. No, maybe I didn't. I think I'm actually, exactly where I left it the last time. So this is the Rachel sweater by Jose Paquin, who is You and I Knit. There, kind of bring it down a little bit. And I'm knitting this in Berocco Skye, which was fairly inexpensive. I'm trying to see if I've got I want to say it was like around $11, and it's a 50 gram ball, but it's got 250 meters, 273 yards to it, and you get good yardage on it. Like, I think I'm still in the first ball. I think. Or no, I just started the second ball. So they're a good size. And the color I'm using it's a kind of dark gray, but it's got, depending on the light, will look like it's got forest green or dark blue undertones. So, but the color is just 7670. There's no name to it. And the blend is, doing this without my glasses, there we go. 37% wool, 35 viscose, 20% yak, 8% nylon. So it has got like this really great drape to it. So I've hit the part where there's some detailing around I think she calls it the belt. So there's some pattern detailing around here. So I kind of stopped where I was at and thought that would be a good place to stop for, you know, a few days while I knit and finish my bird of a feather. Except a few days stretched into 2 weeks and I'm still not done. And I just want to go back to the sweater. Anyway, that's it. But this is the Rachel sweater. There's like, this is where the detailing is. So I think it's just probably, you know, a mix of purl and knit stitches. So I don't think it's going to be anything too difficult, but it's me, so I have to pay attention. I can't, even with the bird of the feather, it was just like a fan and feather and fan kind of style in the lace sections. Oh my, I cannot talk today. Word. Yeah, like just simple, like lace, about as simple lace that you can get other than it just being like yarn over. And I kept messing it up. Like, not kept messing it up, but every time I didn't really pay attention, I messed it up. Lace is not my friend. Lace does not like me. We have a very acrimonious relationship. Me and lace. So I think that's about it. I think I got a little bit done actually on my Shut the Barn Door sock for my sister. So I'm ready to start the heel. So I've gotten that far. And so this is my Shut the Barn Door colorway. There's still some of this left in the shop for anybody that's interested. So I'm just doing a basic vanilla sock, my per usual. I keep saying I'm going to branch out and do a pattern one, and then I just find for socks, it's sort of my mindless knit. So I haven't yet, but there are some patterns that I want to do, and that is on my make 9 list. So yeah, I'll probably do that maybe over the summer, maybe. Anyway, maybe not, I don't know. So yeah, so I'm ready to do the heel. And then this is the first sock, so I really gotta get cracking on that too. But that is kind of all the knitting. That's it. That is all the knitting. That's kind of sad. So why don't we just jump into the queue? What's in the queue? I'm gonna move that down there. Okay. So I know I have another pair of socks on my needles, which are the Addi Flexi Flips that I was trying out. And I just started them because I wanted to kind of get the feel for the Addi Flexi Flips. And my goal was to kind of go back and finish those once I finished my sister's socks. But here's the thing. The Scotia by Coop Knits it's a DK weight. I don't have any DK weight socks. And I know we're getting into kind of the warmer weather and I don't actually need DK socks. But I really want to make it. So I'm going to have the gray here. I'll do it this way. As the main color for the socks. And these are 50 gram balls. Well, skeins actually. And then this beautiful chartreuse color is going to be the heels, toes, and cuffs. And I think I'm going to have enough where I'm going to do like a thin stripe going twice down the leg, and if I have enough, maybe kind of mid-foot. Maybe. So that's the plan. So, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Like the colors, I've been itching to knit with it, and yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That's going to be, but I am going to try to finish my sister's first. So, the other thing in the queue is the shawl that I'm designing, and it's got a bit of a forest tree motif. I'm calling it Sycamore. In my head, I know pretty much what I want it to look like. I just need to kind of go sit down, and what I'm going to do is knit a mini version of it. So I'll take, you know, like I'll just knit the corner to about like this width, and then I'll do a section of like just one section of the pattern repeat, and then, you know, do that for each pattern repeat, and then do the end. So it's basically gonna look like this, but I just want to get a sense of, is the idea I have in my head going to look the way on the yarn that it does in my head before I start going, you know, big scale. So I think that will give me a good idea. I could be way off the mark here because I've never actually designed anything before, but that's what I'm going for. I'm going to try that. So here are the yarns that I'm going to use to design it, because I love the woodsy look to them. So this is, again, this is more Herriott Fine, and this is the merino alpaca blend, and the color is Shamrock. That looks, it's actually more green than what it's showing here. It's got a little bit brighter tint to it. And then these two are from Illimani in their Echo Lama blend or colorway. I had my glasses. I just became one of those people. Where's my glasses? Oh, my sciatica. Okay. So this is Echo Lama, and the color is just BC. So I don't know what that means, but it's kind of like this nice, soft, pale, beigey brown. And then the other one, which is also the Echo Lama. Oh no, you know what? It does have a name. It's called Fawn. I just saw that there. Fawn. So you can see too, like cost wise for the yardage you get, this was like, these are $17, $18. These were 17 when I bought them. I think are they still 17? Or they might be 18 now. This one is Echo Lama, and this is the Camel color. So you get, you get a lot of yardage with these bad boys. So these are 100% baby llama, and for 100 grams you get 402 yards, and for the Herriott you get 461 yards. So when I'm knitting a sweater, I can buy, like, depending on the sweater, I usually just need 3 of these. And you know, that's not too bad. That's less than a $60 sweater. Like, I love it. And it's great. This is what I made my Puntilla sweater out of, which was the first sweater I knit, which I almost had on today. Actually, I did have on today, but I took it off for the podcast because it was getting warm down here. But I made it out of, I don't have the color down here. I don't think I do. Anyway, but if you've seen my previous episodes, you've seen the sweater. It's kind of more of a dark browny gray color that I have. So I'm gonna put my glasses down there, so when I go looking for them, you can be shouting at your screen saying, "They're right in front of you." So these are the colors. Let's take the little. So I really love the way these colors blend, and this isn't llama, it's alpaca, but they feel almost identical, pretty much. So, and I don't know if I hold this up, if you can see this. Let me see if it'll show. But you can kind of see, now this is really blowing it out, but it does show how there's like a variegation in the yarn. So it's not like solid green. It's got this really kind of great detail. So I can't wait to get started. I just want to dive in and go. So once I get done with the bird of a feather shawl that would never end, that's my next project. And I'll probably kind of show you some of my process as I'm going through. And I don't know if I'm going to, we're going to see how it goes as to whether this ends up being a pattern for sale or just something I kind of do for myself. It could turn out that I really suck at designing, and I have no idea how to write a pattern So there's a learning curve. Yeah, so I mean, it could turn out to be a complete disaster or something just for me or shared with the masses. We'll wait and see. We'll see how that goes. So the other thing, in my Jenna Rose bag, this is her kind of bucket tote bag. I love her stuff. She, what do they call it when she draw, these are all her drawings and then she puts it on the fabric, and I know there's a name for that, and I'm blanking. She's on, oh my God, people. Who thought that today was a good day to podcast? She's on Etsy, and I will link to her shop. And oh my God, her stuff is beautiful. I have this bag. I have several of her kind of little pouches. She has a bigger size bags too that I really want to get. That's on my dream list. But in here is all of my embroidery stuff because I am so ready to start. So what's in here? Give me some crinkling. Oh, this is lots of colors. So I kind of went to town. I started off saying I'm just going to get a few basic colors to kind of start with, and then you know, it's sort of like when you walk into a yarn store and you say, I'm just going to buy one skein. And then you don't. So, yeah, I've got... yeah, so there's a lot. And then I also... I also have this, which is, there's these colors on this side, and then these colors on this side. So, you know, I found a rabbit hole, and I just careened headfirst down into it. So then I also have, I bought some fabric, which is just kind of like a cotton, thick cotton canvas style. I got a hoop, and then I also got the bobbins and my needles. Oh, and I have a tracing pencil over there as well. So one thing, I did used to embroider a long time ago when I was 13 years old. So this is gonna crinkle. So I loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. It was the only thing in home ec that I was good at. I couldn't cook. I was lousy at sewing. I made biscuits that turned green somehow. No, it was the macaroni turned green when I was babysitting. So here's the story. Total tangent. Segue. Non-related. I was babysitting good friends of ours, lived across the street from us where I grew up in Glasgow, and I had to get them lunch. Now, I don't cook. I think I was around 15 at the time, and they were around my sister's age. So if I was 50, they were like 9, and then 9 and 7. So I had to make them lunch. So we were making craft dinner, right? Simple. Should have been simple. Somehow it turned out green. Now there were jujubes in the house, and I'm positive that they put some of those in the pot when I wasn't looking, and that's what turned it green. But the other thing is that when I was in home ec class in grade 7, I made biscuits, and somehow they also came out with a green tinge to them, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So needless to say, my ability in the domestic arts does not extend very far. The only two things I can do, I can knit and I can embroider. But I have not embroidered since I was 13, but I was really good at it. So I think I'm going to be able to pick it up again. But the one thing I don't know how to do is how to transfer a pattern over onto the canvas. And I know it's probably really simple. I just have to make sure I have the right tools to do it. So I have the tracing pencil. I just don't know what to do with it. Because I think when we did it in home ec, if I remember correctly, we either had the pattern printed on the canvas already, although I think one time I just went rogue and I was just making up my own pattern. And I mean, I suppose I could still do that. Anyway, so I do want to kind of get started on that because I think that would be a nice palette cleanser if I'm working on a bigger project and I just want to pick up something and just do a little bit. So that's on the queue, and I would like to start that, but I'm not going to start it until after I finish the birds of a feather. Excuse me. And that's it. That's all we got. That's all we got, kids. Oh, I did do, I don't know. Let's see if we can. So I don't know if you can tell from this angle. So I've actually you probably can't tell, but these were kind of jammed in here more. And I've pulled out a bunch of skeins and it looks like I've put them down here. I have put some of them down here. I moved all of my self-striping yarn down here, and then some of my yarn yarn that was already balled up in here for socks. So I went through that last night because I just feel like I needed to do a bit of a clean out. Sorry, I think I got that. It looks good. That'll work. I did go through, I went through the other boxes. Like I've got, you can see right here, like this red box. I've got like the boxes, if anyone's kind of saw the tour of the place back when I did the renovations. All my yarn is kind of in these boxes here, or like pull out bin thingies. So I went through and I cleared out anything that didn't, like when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I can't wait to knit with that. So anything that I thought, I can't think what I'm going to knit out of it. I don't look at it and go, oh, I just love it so much. So I pulled out about 2 like grocery bag full of yarn that I'm going to take up to my mother and unload on her, which is what I usually do every time I clean out my yarn. She's usually the beneficiary of it. So my mom doesn't have to buy any yarn probably for the rest of her life. She's set. She's good. So I did go through that last night because I have to go run some stuff up to her house tonight. And unload a bunch of books on my dad and unload a bunch of yarn on my mom. So I'm going to do that. The other thing I'm going to do today is, and I got this idea. Where did I get this idea? Oh, I think I got this idea off of on one of the Villanvine episodes. Kristen said that Emily, who's Slow Fashion Rebel that works with her, organized her dies by putting little colored stickers on them, so you could kind of look at it right away and see what color family it was in, which sounds like such a better system than what I have going on here right now. So I think if I have time today, I'm going to do that. I am going to try to get it done this weekend. And I think that's kind of everything that's going on right now in the knitting world. So that's pretty much it that's going on knitting wise. What else is going on? That's it. That's all we got. This is going to be a shorter episode, I think. And I've been saying that for the last, I think for about the last 4 or 5 episodes, I've been saying this is going to be a shorter episode. And they are shorter than when I originally started. And I don't know if part of that is just because I'm a little more comfortable. I'm a little more used to doing the whole thing. Although you'd never know the way I was stumbling over my words today. But I'm also sort of streamlining what I knit on at any given time. So I usually have a sweater, a shawl or accessory, and then some socks on the go. But so there's usually like 3 things to show you. Although I have to say I'm battling cast-on-itis right now. So far I'm winning the battle, but Isabel Kramer just came out with a new sweater pattern and I purchased it and I really, really want to start knitting it. But I also really, really want the Rachel off of the needles because it's going to be a bit more, it's like a fingering weight, so it's a more lightweight sweater and I can wear that now as opposed to my weekender, which was a heavier sweater because it's worsted weight. And I'm running out of time season-wise that I can wear that, so I still want to get some hand knits on the go. And my goal is to every time I complete a sweater that I've knit myself, I'm going to go in and take out a store-bought sweater that I don't really wear anymore as much, or that I can replace with the hand knit sweater and put that in the donate bin. That's kind of what I'm gradually doing. There's going to be some sweaters that are store-bought that I keep because I really like them. There's the one I got when I was in Scotland, which I love and I wear all the time. So if it's ones like that that I like still really wear all the time, of course I'm going to keep them. But my goal is to kind of 75% of my sweaters be hand knit by me. So that's it. So life stuff. God. Oh, actually, shop news. I'm going to probably have a small update. I had hoped to get some dyeing done last weekend, but as I said earlier, I had to work all weekend, so that didn't happen. And my husband and I were actually supposed to go away last weekend for Friday and Saturday, and we had to cancel those plans too, so it was, sorry, babe. Anyway, I think we are going to go away next weekend, so I'm going to try to get a small shop update done this weekend, and it will probably go live next weekend. So watch my Instagram to know when that happens if you're interested. And it's just going to be, it's probably going to be a smaller one because I don't know how much time I'm going to have this weekend to actually do that. We got a couple other things going on. But yeah, so watch that. I've got some color ideas in my brain and I really want to like kind of try them out and see what comes of it. I've ordered more yarn. Right now my yarn supply is like super low, so it's gonna have to be a small update until my supply arrives sometime next week. So yeah, so that's for shop news. And there's stuff in the shop right now. There's some Shut the Barn Door, some Woodsy, there's one of the double dip micro striping ones, Yield. Also, if we got in there, I got some Pop and Circumstance. There's still some September Morn and Falling Leaves left, and I'm so tempted to take that out of the shop for myself because I love it. I'm resisting. But I'm trying to think what else is in there. But I'm gonna try, I think, to get some sock sets done up. And when the new stuff arrives, I'm going to maybe start looking at doing some 3 skein kits for shawls. I'm still having in the shop, if you buy 3 skeins at full price. I do have some clearance ones, but if you buy 3 skeins at full price, or just if your order is $84 or more Canadian, you'll get free shipping. So that's still going on. And I think that's everything for shop news. So life stuff. My taxes are done. Yay! And I didn't have to pay the tax man this year, so that was awesome. Well, actually I did, because I pay interim, but I'm getting that all back, so that was good. So I didn't actually have to pay him after all. The other thing is, so I bought this book. And the reason I bought this book is, number one, I've been wanting to read it for eons. It's basically his story of traveling the Camino Trail, which my sister and I are going to do it. We're not going to do the entire trail. The entire trail, if you go the French way, I think is 755 kilometers. And usually takes about, I think, 6 weeks to do. I'm not going to get 6 weeks off work, and neither is she. Plus, she has 3 kids. So, yeah. But we figure we can probably do 3 weeks, so we can maybe get half of it done. And you can kind of start at any point you want. And there's not just one trail. There's the French way, which is the most popular, and that kind of goes all through Spain. There's also the Portugal Trail, which you can either go along the coast or you can kind of go further inland, but that's a little more touristy. So we were looking at the Portugal, but if you go along the coast, it can be really rainy and windy, and I don't want to spend 3 weeks soaked. So I don't know. We haven't decided. We're going to do some research on that possibly this weekend. We're not going to do it until 2020, and we're looking at maybe doing the shoulder season, maybe May, maybe September, and build it around when we can get off work-wise or family commitment-wise. So I'm really excited about that. That's something that's been on my bucket list for, oh God, over a decade. I forget what really was the first thing that drew my attention to it. I completely forget. I don't know if I saw a movie or a documentary on it, I think. And I was just like bowled over. And I have a former boss who did the entire thing, so I may kind of reach out to her. And she raved about it. She said it was the most amazing trip she'd ever taken. So I might reach out to her and get some tips and tricks. And in the meantime, we're probably going to have to walk 20K a day. I don't know what that works out to in miles. Let's Google that. So that's about 12.5 miles. So that's not too bad. Because when you think about it, I can walk 5K in just under an hour. So you're really only looking at about 4 hours of walking a day. And we've got over a year to be able to kind of condition our, for me, it's going to be condition my feet for it, because my right foot is like not great. I've got like plantar fasciitis in the heel, and I've got like a bunion on the big toe. So I sound like an old woman. My sciatica. But yeah, so she's got some books that she's dug up, and I think it's just like, it's going to be a great sister trip. Did I say I was going with my sister? I think I did. And it's funny because this has been on my bucket list for years, but I thought, I really don't think that's something my husband would be interested in doing. You know, I mean, he would do it if I wanted to do it, but then I'd be on the trail the whole time thinking, I don't really think he's enjoying himself. I really don't think this is his thing. But then my sister out of the blue sent me an email, or sent me a text saying, bucket list, we have to do this. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you wanted to do this, which I forgot to ask her what brought this on, and now she's all gung-ho. So yeah, so that's the plan, which is good because it also gives us that much time to save up. I mean, the plane ride is going to be the biggest, and then the food would be the next. Most of our accommodations are probably going to be spent in kind of hostels, that kind of thing. So, you know, maybe there's sort of this, it's not a castle, but it looks very castle-y, like at the end. And I think we're going to splurge and spend our last night there. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that. My husband and I got our Dublin trip booked, which I think I mentioned last time. So that's booked. And that's going to be in the fall, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that's everything. There's not a whole lot else going on. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I am going to go try to finish the Bird of a Feather shawl. I love it. I do. It's a beautiful shawl. Don't get me wrong, and I highly recommend it. I'm just over it. I just want to move on. You know, you kind of get to a point in a project where you're just like, you feel like you should have done a while ago and you're not, and there's all these other things that you want to do. That's where I'm at. So anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Like and subscribe, which I think I forgot to say the last time. What did I say I was going to do last episode? I'm just going to go like this because I can never remember what side it's on. But if you like the episode, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up. That helps get the word out for the podcast to other people. And subscribe if you want to be notified when new episodes arrive. And that is about everything. So thanks so much, everybody, for showing up, all you new and returning viewers and subscribers, new and returning viewers. Did I say that wrong? Everybody. And until I see you again, which should be in 2 weeks' time, happy knitting and have a great weekend. See you later.